We are back. Thanks for staying with us. Joined in the studio now by John Hollister. John is the CEO of Imaging3 Incorporated. IGNG is their stock symbol. John, always good to see you.
Hey, Don. It's always great to be here. Thanks.
We're really pleased to have you in the program. We originally did not have you planned. Last minute insertion.
Yeah.
Welcome to the program. You've got some big news, I guess.
You know, we are continuing to make progress. So we are real excited. The last time I was here, I mentioned that we were just about to start the regulatory work, which we've done that now. So the Experian Group, they've had our kickoff meeting. So we've been downloading everything that we know. They're learning about the product, and we're building the pathway forward to be able to submit the 510K later this year. So we're real excited about that as a big step.
Now, I want to kind of divert a little bit from what we were talking about, but on that same subject, you're the CEO of the company. The company's been dealing with this issue for many years. I'm sure you take a lot of shareholder telephone calls.
Oh, many.
What are you saying to people that are calling you now wanting updates? What's the cheerleader speech that you have that you talk to these people about? Because of course you have to do that.
Right. So, you know, most of it is focused on the excitement about bringing a really good team together. You know, I've mentioned the different people who have been brought on who really help validate what we're doing, that they validate it for me. People like George Zadaziak, you know, who was the former chief technical officer at Varian Medical Systems, having joined our board. He's a physicist, and he's looked at the system and is excited. Jeff Peterson, our chairman of the board, had been at GE and Abbott Laboratories and a number of smaller healthcare companies, private and public, but also ones in the OTC, which is a very unique environment. And so those people, but our radiologists who are on our scientific advisory board are tremendous in terms of their view of the product and saying there just is nothing like this in the market, which is very validating for me.
When I talk to you on this program in this format, I can see the sparkle in your eye when you're talking about the company. The enthusiasm generates immediately. I think sure people watching, when you're talking to someone on the phone, are they getting that enthusiasm that you're feeling?
Well, you know, it's funny. I think they are, but I get more out of them. So I am thrilled when they call me because they're really interested. They've put money, hard-earned money into the company. Many of them have been with the company for a long time and have seen the ups and downs. And they tell me how excited they are because they feel the progress that we're making, and they know the expectations, and we're trying to bring together the team that's capable of taking this to a finish line in the right way. So it's a symbiotic relationship, definitely.
I mean, it's got to be an exciting time to be involved with the company.
Definitely, very, very much so.
Now, you have a very distinguished career. Have you ever been involved in something that has this level of excitement at this stage? You
know, whenever you're thinking about launch, it just gets intoxicating. So every product that I've launched over my career in the healthcare space, you get to a place where you get full immersion, and this one feels like it's getting to the same place. And I mean literally every fiber in your body, in my body, gets connected with what you're doing in order to launch successfully, and I can already feel that beginning to build up.
Well, it's interesting because these chairs have automatic levels up and down. It seems like you're levitating from yours. What else is new since we last spoke?
Yeah, so the big next thing that we're working on is finding a product design team, and we're actually negotiating with companies that can ultimately be our manufacturer. And we are working with somebody that we're really excited about. They're experts in the space, and so we think that they can really help us update the Dominion, our device, bring the technology up. You know, computers go obsolete within a year or two, so we want to make certain that the computers are up to date. The radiation, so there's where the radiation comes from in the device could be updated, as well as and the state of the art in the flat panels, which is the receiver. As you'll remember, I don't know if your listeners, on one side you have where the radiation comes from, and on the 180 degrees you have a flat panel that receives the messages through the target. And I'll explain that on our next visit, but to show how the device actually works for your listeners.
Just about out of time, but I mean, that product design has been an exciting facet to get involved in.
Well, you know, it's really remarkable as I get to understand the device better. But as you imagine in this circular loop where the radiation is actually trafficking around, and on the 180 degrees from that is the receiver of it. Well, when that radiation passes through the object, you know, whatever body part it is, it's emitted and then received on the other end, and through a very complex algorithm, that message is then translated into a three-dimensional model. But our device actually takes an image every degree as it goes around that circle in 1 second. And if you can imagine, and I like this analogy, which makes us different than almost anything else in the market, or anything in the market that we know of, if I was going up to an elephant to try to paint a picture with the blindfold on, and I touched the elephant in 2 places, the picture might not be that good. But if I were able to get 360 pictures, touch that elephant everywhere, even with the blindfold on, I might actually be able to draw a pretty good picture. I think that's the best way to make the differentiation. Our device takes a lot of images and is sending that into a very complex physics process into a computer that then you could look at. So.
Exciting. Once again, Imaging3 Incorporated, IGNG is their stock symbol. John, thanks so much.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.